Hey, I know this is the first video in English in my Arabic channel, but please hear me out. This topic is about learning English specifically for remote work or freelancing or working online, whatever you want to call it. So I get these questions a lot. How can I learn English? What is the most efficient way to learn English? I'm not going to tell you something that you haven't heard before. Basically, everything I will say, you already heard this before. However, that's not the point. The point here is just to stress out on the fact that there is really no other way. The way is practicing. You have to speak English, you have to you have to read English, and then you have to listen a lot to English. I'm not talking about listening to one song per day or watching a 2 minutes or 5 minutes video per day. No, you really need to start incorporating these into your daily habits. Okay? There is another thing that probably not many people are talking about, because when we say English, it's really a big word. And by big word, I mean there is a lot to unpack when we talk about a language. So instead of us trying to learn the full scope of English, which is, I don't know, includes part of it is literature, the other part is business, the other part is science, there is another part about I don't know, like math, and then there is a whole bunch of topics or areas that you can specialize in regards to business. And I learned this the hard way when I tried to take the TOEFL test, because I took it during COVID from home. And what I noticed is my idea was that I'm going to take the TOEFL and for business use. So I wanted to, just prove that my English is good for business use, stuff like that. However, I was shocked, and that was my mistake. I didn't search a lot about it before I take the test. So I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying. I was shocked to see that the English I was being tested in was actually related to science. It was related to biology. It was related to geology. So basically, what that test was, it was basically for university students. So if you're, if you're planning to study abroad, you have to take the TOEFL. So when you go to take the TOEFL, they will teach you how to, just the subjects of university and school are the ones you're going to be tested in. So I didn't perform very well, especially in discussion topics and analysis of science-related topics, because I never liked natural sciences. I never liked biology and stuff like that. Okay, so this was the problem. Why it was a problem? It's not because I wasn't already working with English, working using English. The problem was the terminology or the glossary. It's called a glossary, and it's basically just like not glossary glossary, yeah. So it's like just the list of words or the concepts or words that you have to master, like in a dictionary. But this dictionary is really topic specific or subject specific. So when we say we want to learn English for remote work, then there is no need to learn or watch or listen to science English or biology English or math English, because the kind of words that you're going to learn in that subject is completely different, and you may not even need it for your remote work. So this is why you can cut it short and just focus on this aspect, which is going to be this one here is going to be the business or whatever is your specialty or field of expertise. So for instance, my expertise is in business. That's why I started with business English. It helped me a lot because I was studying business English at school. So that was like the the shortcut for me. And then I was reading about business in English and then listening to business podcasts. So you really focus your efforts instead of just downloading apps and starting to speak with others. Hey, how are you doing? What is your hobby? I agree you can do this in the first step if you're just trying to, just trying to break the ice. However, for long term, that will not work. I mean, the kind of conversations we have in business is completely different than, hey, hello, how you doing? What's your hobby? Okay. So you would want to focus on business English or also the niche or the specific topics that you work in, for instance, design or development or whatever you're doing. And then you would move to conversations, how to conduct an interview or how to talk with a business owner. And then you focus only on that aspect. And then how to convince a business owner to work with you, for instance, pitching skills. And then the sales aspect, how to use sales techniques and stuff like that. So this is a much more efficient method that you can use. And I really did this. I really recorded this video in English so that it helps in these efforts and that you can start probably familiarizing yourself with the language. But yeah, if you want me to give you some more details about this, you can just ask me in the comments, and then we can take it from there.